before the break, we were talking about the difference between a content creator and an artist. So I'd like to throw this question to Mayu, because we're to interview now. So I'd like to ask you, what inspires your creativity? Because I'd like to believe you call yourself a creative, right? Yeah. So what inspires your creativity?
The role of a creative, I believe, or the role of an artist is to leave nothing unsaid within your time. I believe so. So just the urge to share things that other people haven't experienced, or other people have experienced, they have been part of the experience, and everything going around in my community, the friends I have. So I have to tell these stories because the world has been in existence for how many years now? 4 million or per se years. There's been so many people who have come and they've gone. Spans of 20 years, others 50 years, others 70 years. And whatever they saw, not everyone saw. Whatever they experienced, not everyone experienced. So they didn't have the privilege to document and to... Because this is a journal, the art and the creativity I put out. This is the journal of my life. And I believe every artist has that role. My inspiration mostly comes from just knowing that fact.
Yeah, and do you ever find yourself sometimes lacking in like your creativity? Does your creative juice run out ever?
Definitely. There are times when you have a block in the creativity, but for me, I tend to not take anything too serious. So there's always a way to loosen up and get back to the space where I can create. Because as I said, I'm not going to be in existence forever. And I'm not going to be here forever. So I might as well just use whatever time I have to make something happen, or to impact, or to tell a story, or to do something that people can reference to. Yeah.
Now that you've talked about like the creativity block, I'd like to maybe ask Neymar, what do you do when the pressure gets to you? Like, is there like a place you go, something you do?
Yeah, I tend to unplug a lot. Like, even after such an interaction, it's always I call it too much peopling.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just need to I like being alone. I usually create the most when I'm under pressure, sometimes like personal pressure. And I tend to create situations that are pressure-wise. Artists are just crazy people.
Create pressure, self-inflicted pressure.
Yeah, I tend to do that sometimes. Like, I could just think about something, I could obsess about a certain maybe negative feeling, and from that, for example, there's a time I wasn't writing and my mirror just broke. Nilibai na 12 so manze. Hata nigongo unacheki nijao kitu inafai kwa 800. Nikahurumia mzae. Jo anashinda amezurura na vioo. So nikachukua hiyo, hata haikukaa, and it broke at a time when I wasn't creative. I was feeling, that feeling you're like, you don't want to do anything. Hata movie una zone out, unashinda ukirewind. You don't even know what's wrong with you. Nilikuwa hiyo place, and then my mirror broke. Then when I was picking up those pieces, hata nilikaa siku 2 ndo nitoe hiyo. Nilikuwa tu no go zone hiyo area kwa nyuma. Siendi hapo cause glasses are everywhere. Nilikaa tu siku 2 ndo nikakuja picking up the glasses, and I know I was kind of in a zone kind of way, doing all that, and in my head I was thinking, this is so cheesy, but it made so much sense to me, and it felt so rich to me when I was picking up those broken pieces of the mirrors. And like, not everything is gone. Like, there are still big pieces. There are small pieces you just have to throw out. There are pieces you just have to throw out. There are pieces that will cut you in the process. You have to be careful when you're dealing with broken pieces. You can't just pick them up, and you have to be really keen with how you handle it. And you have also to notice that it's not all broken, because part of that mirror still is there. And you know what I did? I took Okay, ilivunjika. Okay, it was the long mirror. Ilivunjika hivi halfway, so the bottom part ilibaki kiasi. Then the rest was really shattered. Kulikuwa na some bigger pieces, some smaller. So I took like the small pieces that were looking kind of zenye zinafanana, and I put them on the wall like a shape. Ikakuwa artistic, and I'm like, you can actually use, like, I think I was in the zone for a day just doing that. I was like, some of the pieces can actually create something beautiful.
So you can
some of the pieces you think are useless can create something beautiful. And like from that broken mirror experience, we can unplug social media because I'd been feeling so low for the and I was just ignoring it and going, you know. That's why nikikaa hivi a minute sija release ngoma, I'm like, wow, what am I doing? You know, and sikuwa poa. So from that ndo nikaenda tu unplug, nikaenda hadi shags. Ilikuwa niende coast but haitawezekana, so nikakama hapa. So from that mirror ku break, as in nilimpata place mbaya yenye sikuwa na create content niko proud of. Yani I'm just full of negativity kwa lyrics, you know, that thing you're like, hey, such a drug, you know, that kind of thing. So like I use experiences like that, like me kitu random too. I'm just a random person, and I'm open to listen to what the universe is trying to tell me. So even that mirror ilinibo was wasted and whatever, but I'm glad it broke because through your process tu nikijiongelesha nikijiambia some pieces can create art. I know it's cheesy and I know it's crazy, but I'm like, some of them just got you. Mpaka sahi niko tu na ka art fulani kwa nyumba yangu from that broken mirror.
But unajua mimi naonaje? Mimi naona podcast ni therapy. With talking, kubonga, kumiti hivi kama artists na pia kwa able to express challenges zetu nazo ama issues zenye ziko. I think pia ni a way of getting off. Unacheki tukimiti hivi and then we talk about our issues and nini. Na feel umepata kale ka break na pia uko able to understand. Unajua si wote tunashare challenges. So una feel manzi I'm not alone in this. Na pia una learn from other people story yake ya broken mirror. Pia ni a way ya kufanya uangalie things from a different point. Unacheki. So and I also think manzi kuna power in repetition. Like when you keep repeating what you've been doing. Like say for example you did a song maybe and then umezeka kwa archives like you're okay, I'm like okay, I did a song. Those who do songs, I did this type of song and nini. When you go back to that song and keep repeating how you are doing it, you'll get something new from it because ilikuwa idea ile time flani ya kutengeneza hiyo something. So I think ukikuwa able to go back to what ukikuwa able to repeat, una maintain identity yako, una uniqueness yako kama artist. Unacheki. So siwezi anza kusema ati since say for example maybe naimba rumba and then sasa kuna new concept ya kucheza rumba na traps, you know, say trend wana vocali, then they put some house on it nini, but unacheki hii concept ni concept nyingine hapo ya kitambo, like people are still going back to history and nini, but na feel tu manze ukikuwa able to repeat what you've made and what you've done, like endo angalia ile piece of art ulitengeneza and then go look at it manze and I will repeat the same process, definitely something will come. Unacheki. So ukikati urudi the same thing over and over, something new will come up. Sasa na feel tu tuendelee. I think repetition ndio key. Pia na feel pia talks ka podcast. Sijui kama podcasters wako na noma na mental issues. Sijui kama podcasters wako na challenge.
A lot of artists are more susceptible to mental health challenges. I feel so. I tend to think so. And for a reason also, because nothing great comes from... Okay, I sound like a sadist saying it, but nothing great comes from happy moments. Me, I feel everything great has come from challenges. So if you're living an entirely happy life 100% and there's that power that you just lose to analyze life and take a moment and consciously look at everything going around and know what role I'm playing in this, and knowing how I can be significant within the whole equation. Because the world has 7 billion people, and I feel if you are trying to say these are the artists among these 7 billion, you're probably even probably like what would your guess be? But we are many anyway. Fill up like an entire country. There can be like one country just for artists, or even 2 or 3 or
even 5.
Yeah, we are many. We are many. So yeah, for a lot of the artists I've also interacted with, a lot of them they source from the sadness and all the things that we go through in life, the challenges. That's why you source most of the best content. For myself personally, same case, but let time kuna mashida, speaking gani. That's when if you hit the studio at that time,
it must look different.
It hit different. For sure.
Nice. I like how you guys have put it.
Yeah.
There's something I usually like to say. I can't remember the words correctly, Michelle, but it's when the bonds are good. It's I think Michelle wrote it somewhere.
When the bonds are strong, nothing else matters. The glass might shatter, but you can always rebuild.
So I like that because the way you talked about the mirror. So you see, I personally think art is not supposed to be perfect. I was telling you the other day, I like imperfect art. Something that is kako kombo hivi kando, like I think that is the most beautiful thing ever. And that is also something that has enabled me to like, it's a little bit personal, but my teeth. I have an extra tooth growing and I used to really hate it when I was growing up.
It's mine.
Yeah, but I've grown to really love it and I feel like it's part of me. So most people will be like, you go fix your teeth. I'm like, but no, but this is me. Like, I don't want to fix it. This is who I am. Yeah, this is art. This is So when you've understood yourself or know yourself to a certain extent, even when you break along the way, nothing itakutetemesha because you know who you are, you know where you're headed. So hence the saying. Yeah.
Maybe just to add on that, you're talking about imperfection and something came up to my mind. I think right now people are selling perfection so much, mpaka everyone is afraid to have their imperfections. But if you look at the world, if everything was perfect, then it would be a very boring world. I think from a personal perspective, the individualism we were talking about, when you sit with yourself, you're able to identify your shadows and your light. And by shadow and light, I just mean your your flaws and your strengths. Yeah, you sit down with it and accept that this is me. But then from somewhere, when someone gives you like a correction, you take it, sit down with it, and understand it. Okay, just to bring in the international scene. If you've seen Will Smith's video, Jana, he was talking about how he was sorry. Like he came back to say it sorry online. And I know most people are thinking, hey dude, it's been 3 months, we are over it. Yeah, but he has sat down and realized the repercussions that he caused. Meaning, he did not only hurt Chris Rock, he hurt people that are inspired by him. He also hurt the family of Chris Rock, knowing that they worked together. You see, the whole black man culture in the USA. So it's sitting down with yourself and understanding that, hey, maze hapa nilikosa. But how do I make it better? Unaona? Ama unajua mimi maybe naongea tu sana. That's already you judging yourself. So, but it's your imperfection. It means that's what makes you who you are. Exactly. So accept that you talk a lot.
True.
You get? Yeah. Like you're supposed to sit down and understand yourself so well. Mpaka una feel too. I accept myself. So if someone was to correct me, I correct myself pia. Yeah. Then that's how you're able to create more. So I remember there's this one quote I stand with in it from Lauryn Hill. She says, how you going to win when you ain't right within? And part of my story is actually that, because for a long time I did not create. And this is my thing. Like I like to create jewelry, I like to create different things, very many things since I was a kid. But I was not right within, so I could not express it. Yes, you say during your imperfections you can create good art, the best. But even after that, what comes from it? What did you learn during that time that you would like to share with everyone? Yeah.
I like that. And I like that you talked about the imperfection in like a broad way. So hence my next question, like what is that thing? I'll pose the question to like all of us. That thing we'd like to see in the creative scene more. Like Michelle has said, she'd like to see vulnerability. So like what is that thing we wanted to see in the creative scene a little bit more?
Yeah.
And maybe I can start with Mayu.
Trying to mimic each other and trying to be similar.
Yeah.
And every individual expressed what they actually feel, not you in a studio recording and you're thinking like, nani lazima atati, okay. Stop thinking about when I'm in that moment of creating, I want to solely think about myself, the experiences I've had. If I'm referring to someone else's experience, I've already internalized it and thought it over and over and I've digested it and I know how I want to express the message. So if you're stuck in that circle of still trying to mimic whatever that other person has done to be successful, or whatever this other person has done, there's no one road to success and you can't replicate someone else's path to success, especially in the art world, because everyone has their own different path. No one can give you a masterclass on like how you're supposed to do your art because it's personal. So that personal energy that every artist has, I want them to bring it more on board, especially in the Kenyan scene.
That's where the saying comparison kills creativity, because you keep on looking at what other people are doing instead of just doing what you want to do. Yeah, so I like that. I like that.
For me, I could say representation, especially. Okay, so like a representation, as in I'd really like to see many people breaking this cycle. Like you can be an artist and make money and do stuff, and as in you can be, as in want representation, you can be smart, you can make money through your passion. Yeah, because I guess too we've grown to like arts. As in took it apart to not really. You can't need like side hustle. It's equity main, and that's what you're doing. So yeah, I do like that. I don't talk to open, talk to wewe. Alafu pia, I wanted to say sorry kurudisha nyuma. Most of the time, as an artist, especially ukipata hizo blocks, you feel like hakuna kitu saidia most kama self work. Just sit down with yourself, meditate a bit. As in, through meditation, that's where you get to know your weaknesses and stuff. Like, nilikuwa naambia my friends, kitambo like tukiwa watoto like used to go to church. As in, tukienda church, kuna believe too in your faith and everything, your spirituality, because as in at least a time our parents did the work ya kutupeleka kwa spiritual, as in to make a bit spiritual, but right now it's up to us. So kama hakuna vile like you can work on your spirituality, because this certain is spiritual beings hapa. So na spirituality mean it's religion, actually spirituality and religion are a bit different, the same but a bit different. So yeah, I think unafaa to take time with yourself, just sit down. As in, hizi vitu tu come to kila mtu kwa time yake, and yeah, then at times when I take chini even I feel like maybe I should be doing this because I feel like I'm talented, but I feel like there's something that is like bring me down. I feel like by the way I can do this, but it takes time. Unajijua and stuff, yeah. So hata kwa representation naweza penda pia na mimi ni represent art yangu, like kama anything ukapenda kwa kitambo like dancing, naweza penda ni rudi hivyo, but I just say rudi hivyo like just say it yenyewe leo nimeamua by the narudi because pia lazima as in and I come with
its own pressures and everything. Lazima nikuwe ready mentally, everything to for create your balance. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also one thing I'd like to see more in the creative scene is like Michelle had said yesterday, collaboration. A lot of collaboration, and also like the creation of creative hubs, not like Sana Moja. You see, Sana Moja has enabled us to be here together. There's Sequoia creative community. In the group, somebody will just type, I'm looking for a photographer. Apo chini, me, my work, link. Like, it's so beautiful. Sometimes you go to group, oh my God. So, I'd like to see that come up more, and so that we can make art not only just something that, like Barbara is saying, it's not just a side hustle. It's our main hustle. And this is how we are going to, make it. So, webinars, seminars, and
more residency.
Exactly. And because mimi honestly out of the term residency, yes, nilikuwa naisikia, but nilikuwa mengi like a daktari. But then you get to know, understand it, don't really explain you, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. So generally. And then one thing I'd also like to ask is, what do you feel as creatives right now we are borrowing from like the past, or like what are we bringing back? You know that song, bring it back, creativity. Like what are we doing that was already done before? That's what inspiration are we getting from like Kitambo doing it like right now? Is there something that comes to your mind? Like for instance, Lingala. Lingala is not our thing like right now. It's for our fathers and their fathers before that, but we are bringing it back in such a way that we are putting in trap inside Lingala, and it's just something beautiful. So what do you think we're doing that is from the past but to be later back?
I think kila kitu. I think kila kitu. Hata dressing. Si hata tu kwa nini. I think kila kitu. Hadi sasa hivi vile sasa tuna grow up na realize manze kunde ndio ilikuwa ngarada. Unachana na KFC, unaangalia sasa hii muziki ya sasa hii iko na kelele mingi. Unacheki like sasa hii wezekea mzae kipulugududu. Alafu pia sense. Unacheki like kuandika tu ngoma ina make sense. Unacheki zile time akina Dandika Baka walikuwa wanaandika ngoma zingine msichana mrembo kama wewe, as in like kuna something you can get it like message iko one on one like I am talking about a lady mwenye amesoma, mwenye kona all qualifications, but she doesn't want to get married. So what's the problem with this girl? Nacheki yani message ilikuwa one on one. Kama anapenda mtu anasema one on one. Nimekuandikia barua, nimetuma usome. Unacheki? So I think unacheki sahi ngoma za sahi manze unapata ndo kama na Tashenk skuzi. Hizi ngoma za gengeto na zizienda tufa kwa sababu ya content iko in ndani ya ngoma, unacheki. Na pia sahi kuna culture trend of which is a nice thing. Unacheki.
It's shocking.
So na wase wanataka tu sijui nani alisema mkiwa msanii, the fact that people know you is making it like yes you could make it. I don't think ni could make it. Kwa sababu naona as in goal yako kama artist inafaa kukua inspire, because all people inspired us. That's why we are doing the music again. Yes, like unafaa make sure we inspire. If you get inspired by my drumming, then as an artist nime make it. If I can inspire you, if I can inspire her, him, unacheki. Unacheki sasa hiyo ndo sasa legacy. Legacy si about ati we know nani of which unaona sahi hata ukikeep trend hawezi kaa for a very long time. Unacheki like ka uangalie venye cycle inaenda. Unacheki tumekuanga na Meja alikuwa zile enzi za kitambo Meja. So nakumbuka Meja Mgenge. Unacheki ikafika time then he went underwater, si ndio? Tena akakuja lately, but then amekuwa keep up with the trend. Unacheki of which si kitu yenye niko very sure itamfanya last for a long time. Unacheki alafu tena kitu kingine pia kitu natua kama artist ni employment. Like una lose vision kama artist ya kujijenga as a brand. Wewe ukiwa artist ni brand, kujijenga kama brand, unajenga brand zingine because ya pesa. Like si tunaangalia more of the money than inspiration, the work. Kazi yetu ni kufanya hiyo kazi, hiyo ndo badeni yetu si kujulikana ama nini. Femi kama about ni sawa, lakini kitu ya maana ni that mimi nime inspire. Kazi yetu ni kuinspire the community, kuinspire the society, kuinspire young generation. Wazae wali-inspire kina mama zetu na kina mababu zetu. Juu like Kenya alikuwa naimba first of all ina make sense. You can explain to someone, we kipulu bududum ni nini? Ambe kelewi unikamna kinini. Nacheki. The rhythm is fine. Kila kitu iko poa, but content.
I think since you've said that, mimi nilikuwa naona vile uliuliza ati what could we change in our industry. Mimi naona love ya music will die for many artists. Mimi personally, honestly, I was just vile nilichukua break yangu after my mirror broke and I was kind of mentally damaged. You're broke. Tangu nichukue break, I realized music ni soul yangu, unaona? Nikijiseparate na music, there is no way I'm existing in this world, unaona? Whether I'm doing it in the bathroom, whether I'm doing it for thousands of people, whether I'm just free to create whatever for people. If you want me to write for your boyfriend, I write. Whether I'm doing that, so long as tu mimi nafanya tu music na create, nitakuwa tu sawa. But most artists hawana hiyo love, as in they're there for the status ya msanii. But wakiface hiyo pressure really ya kuwa msanii, they're like, ama anakuwa tu mtiaji tu, hata unashangaa sasa hii ndio usanii, unaona. It's all about clout, it's all about BS, so that hata tuseme Kenyan audience pia they're full of it. Wanapatake tu vitu zingine, unaona. Kama you were talking about Niger, honestly I was about to grab your phone and throw it in the water. Because nilizusha tangu jana. I was like no, you know. And si ati mimi uplay Kenyan music 24/7. Mimi napenda some weird music. Mimi napenda ku-explore different types of music. Nasikizanga Lana Del Rey, nasikizanga Jenia Hiko. But what I look for is that love, I just want to hear an artist who does it with love. Kama wakadinali, mimi napenda kwa those people. They love music and they create it for love. That's why kuimba violence inawakatia ma forms are corporate maybe, but they still do it. They still sing, they experience their life. So me naona hiyo love is dead mzee. Hadi mzee anaanza na hiyo love, then inakuwa tu BS. Unaona, that's why hata audience yetu, mimi najonga Wakenya wanajua muziki poa. Unaona, ndio sababu tunaendanga Niger, cause Niger yes inaweza kuwa inagonga, but mzee anaimba kama ile song ya Burna Boy ya Waiting Man Go Do. Beat inachapa lakini Waiting Man Go Do, that's real. Go to listen to old school R&B. Why do Kenyans listen to reggae music? Why do Kenyans consume all this other really good music? Yenye ikikuja hapa tunasema ati Wakenya watakanga tu za ati down. No, why do they go outside to look for that? See, we can make it. Me believe if Kenyans love Afrobeat, let's, as Kenyan artists, it's all about the beat. Just take an Afrobeat, write a Kenyan song. It's Kenyan.
But naje tunakuangi na genre.
But single yetu. But
like hakuna genre tuseme kama hakuna Afrobeat ama piano. Kenya inakuanga tu mixed. Azote uji. Okay, walitry na ilikuwa inaitwa reggaeton. But sisi wenyewe ndo tuliwagenge sisi tu.
I don't see why we have to have a sound. I don't see why because Kenya has never been like that. Kenya, all the reggae fans are in Kenya, all the hip hop fans are in Kenya, all the dancehall fans are in Kenya. So I think we should just make whatever we're making.
But there was a time during Kapuka that Kenya was known for Kapuka music during that time.
But does that mean we force Kapuka on
No, we
ourselves?
can't force
of course you
Kapuka.
can't.
That was an era, right?
Yeah.
But as we move forward, kuna different, like things change, you know.
Yeah.
Sasa hii Afrobeat ama piano nini, but then how do we get back to our originality? Mtu kama Nyashinski, Sauti, so they have their sound. And ama Octo. Like ako so original in their sound, so whatever, if you like it, listen. If you don't like it, don't listen, right?
Me, I believe the fact that I'm a Kenyan artist, if I'm singing reggae, even in the style of Bob Marley, that's a Kenyan song. If I'm singing hip hop, me, that's what I believe. Because me as a Kenyan artist, I love testing new sounds. I love trying new. I don't like to confine myself at it. Now I'm just doing Kenyan sounds, and I think I can create a Kenyan sound from all that. Because hadi ukisikia, tuseme nimechukua beat ya Burna Boy, nimeimba Kiswahili. It's Kenyan because kuna Kiswahili. It's Kenyan because naongelea experiences zangu Kenya. It's Kenyan because I'm Kenyan, and that's why you should play it and not look for the Afro done by a Nigerian. Me, I love Afro beat. That beat ya Afro ni poa. Ni poa, and it's something that can push, as in kitu yenye inasikika worldwide. So I don't see the problem of riding waves like drill. Me, I believe bora ni Mkenya anaimba. That's a Kenyan song. I don't know. That's how I believe. Kenyans hatunanga ati sound ati
an identity, we are diverse.
So let's just be who we are.
That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful session. So as we close this beautiful, like I said, session, thank you, Kahawa Chit Chat. Thank you, Sana Moja, and thank you, Creative Connect. I am amazed. And I am Chelsea Guya, like I said, and my co-host.
Mayu Sana, big up on yourself. It's always a blessed time.
Oh,
You know how we do.
yeah. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.